Hello and welcome back to BookGames Spectator, entry number 4 of our live course series, where we're walking through the techniques that I've developed in terms of understanding this marketplace. And we're also keeping our paper trading account live. In previous entries, we've discussed how we've gotten to our paper trading account number, which is 0.232959 Ethereum. And technically, we would have less if we were transferring it through the gas fees of Ethereum based on, hey, well, are we trying to capture something, right? Because there's always a reason you want to transfer funds from your account to a different account, whether that be because you see a snipe you want to take advantage of, or whether that's because you're trying to go for a value play. Technically, I think that based on the market structure that we're in currently, I think it makes most sense to play for snipes and fat fingers based on how the origins of BookGames tokens. But that's a story for another day. Or no, that's pretty straightforward. But we'll have to go into to see what that means in terms of, are you scraping the floor? Are you looking for misplaced value? Or are you camping, looking for sets? So in this case, we're bringing up an example that we went through, and we were scrolling through the order book about 4 weeks into the past, and this stood out to us for some reason because it was a hologram humility. And so we went to our trusty BookGames token count supply sheet, and we're trying to figure out, well, what is the actual value of this token? What's the rarity of this token? So we're going to take a look at the activity. Oh, and it seems like Token Trove is a little bit broken at the moment, so we might not be able to see it. Okay. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we're in all time. We're sorting by sale time. And we included Humility Gold and Humility Hollow because they both have the same rarity. Out of 12,101. Gold, there are 1,043 gold and 1,043 hollow. And so we're taking a look at the order book to figure out, okay, wow, there was a lot sold 4 years ago. And what was the prices though? 0.3. So now we're looking at what was the price going at its highest. And 0.3, 0.5, 0.6, doubling back to 0.3. And this is the technique that I would use to establish the macro condition for the coin or the token in question. What is the most and the least people have paid for this specific token in a specific rarity class? Notice the differences between the hollow and the gold, seeing if there's misplaced value because some people are valuing one versus the other. Taking a look at that. It's interesting. So I think 0.3, 0.4 Yeah, at its max, it looks like this was going for 0.4. There's some 0.5s, but I think it equalizes to maybe 4.2, 4.4. And then the fall off post. Okay, so that's another thing. There was a fall off after around, what was the date? After April the 5th, 2022, the launch of VFriends Series 2. So for that lore, you would have to know that for people holding BookGames tokens, they got a free Series 2 based on, or at least they would be put into a randomized filter so that based on how many BookGames tokens you held, you would get a Series 2 or be put into an auction, raffle, tokenized, digitized auction in terms of, hey, okay, so I'm holding this token. What's going to happen? Oh, did I get the token? Did I get the new token? No? Yes? No? I forget what actually went into it. But it was a multiplier of the more tokens you held, the more BookGames tokens you held, the higher the probability that you would get a Series 2 token. So this is the technique where we're just going through this token to figure out what its value is, or what its value was, to figure out whether or not this was a great purchase. And so far it looks like it's alright, but I'm not understanding where to put this token in the min-max of all the other tokens available. And this is why I say that I start with Galaxy, because I like its look, but it's also a specific type of rarity that is just above the bottom level, and just below this, if we're doing the math on all of these different, this is over 50% right here. It's over 60% too. What is this? 4, 8, 12. Yeah, it would be interesting to do the math on that. That's going to be for another video. But okay, so let's go back. Okay, so we're figuring out, was this a good trade? Was it a good value play? And this goes back to whether you scraped the floor or whether you, oh, see, people were getting these for 0.022 ETH. That's interesting. Okay, so let's 8 minutes in, let's go, keep on going. Oh, here we go. Ambition at the highest level, rainbow, lava. Okay, that's interesting. So let's do that. Clear filters, lava, ambition at the highest level, and then we're gonna go rainbow. Okay, so this was sold for 0.036 ETH at $160 current price. Not 0.036 ETH. Okay, not 0.036 ETH. And then we're checking this out. Okay, so what is the historical price for this token? Dang. Somebody was lucky that they sold here. January the 10th. It went for 1 Ethereum. Some people can't even get that. Oh my gosh. That was a crazy good sell. Yeah, they're scratching their head like, yo, 1 Ethereum, dude? 1 Ethereum? This is the current price. $4,700 for this token. Yeah, it's crazy to think about what people were doing before BookGames Spectator came on the scene, having to figure this out on their own. But I digress. Okay, so 0.03, 0.18, and then an outlier. Okay, so 0.02, 2.9, 3.3, 0.25. So we're getting price discovery and people settling into about 0.25. And then we peak up 0.3, 0.38, 0.4, 0.45. Point 6, 0.4. Okay, where are we at with this? Okay, you see, you can't see it in the screen, but this is an interesting price development schema here. .06. So it made it all the way up to 0.06, and then the fall off back down 3 years ago. And then this was an interesting 0.3 January 11th to 0.09. 0.08. Oh, sold twice that day. Okay, so I hope I'm doing due diligence to BookGames Spectator just to show you what it's like to go through some of these items here. With the time we have left, let's scroll through some of the... Okay, wow. So these seem to be moving high. These seem to be a little bit higher than expected. Ambition lava. Oh wow. Oh wow, interesting. Okay, so that's where we're at with this. Humility is delicious, and ambition lava. Until next entry.